is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Sun.
Straight back up to Kane on the wing. Laid one across, and it's Keith the shot. Save. Rebound. He scores! Countdown is on.
Just 4 months ago, the Tampa Bay Lightning suffered a heartbreaking loss in the Stanley Cup Final in Chicago. Tonight, they'll look past those memories and face the Blackhawks once again. Next on Fox Sports Sun. Though the memories of last June are fresh, the Lightning are looking for a different result under tough circumstances as they return to the United Center in Chicago to take on the Stanley Cup champion Blackhawks here on Fox Sports Sun. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our coverage tonight, along with Brian Engblom, Rick Peckham with you. Paul Kennedy and the Chief, Bobby Taylor, are in the studio tonight as the Lightning return to Chicago for the rematch with the Blackhawks. But, Brian, they're coming off a stirring overtime win in Winnipeg last night. Andre Palat got the winning goal, but the triplets didn't score together. Are you concerned that they didn't get a goal last night?
Not really, because I saw a lot of really good signs. I thought they created a tremendous amount of offense. They only did get the one goal, and that was with Palat playing on the 3-on-3 with Edman and Stamkos, but I thought the triplets were really good. Kucherov was really good in the corners, turning pucks over, and so was Johnson. Johnson got the assist on the first goal of the game right there, digging the puck up, turning it over, and getting it to Coburn. You need to work in the corners and get pucks turned over if you're going to have any success. I don't care how skilled you are. I thought these three guys did a terrific job. Johnson is definitely very frustrated. He must have had 5 great scoring chances and came away empty. As a matter of fact, on that one partial breakaway, we saw him banging the glass afterwards while the play was still going on. Look for him to really bear down and be trying to score a goal tonight, but that triplet line was really good.
Chicago would like to see more offense in the early going in this season. Patrick Kane has started well, but he's got a new partner working well with him.
Yeah, he does, and be careful of this duo. When Patrick Kane is going, and he's got 5 goals and 5 assists on the season already, there is no more dazzling player in the world of hockey than Patrick Kane. The things he can do with the puck will stagger you. He sees the ice everywhere, makes plays that nobody else can, and oh yeah, he can shoot the puck. And this young man is very interesting. Artemi Panarin is playing on the same line. He has the same kind of vision for the ice that Patrick Kane does. 26 goals scored last year playing in the KHL, where he played over the last 2 years, a free agent signing. Look for these two guys to really be using the ice. You're going to have to be aware of both of them wherever they are when they don't have the puck. It's the guy that doesn't have it that's going to really hurt you.
Interesting changes in the Lightning lineup. They'll go with 7 defense, 11 forwards tonight. Brian Boyle still out as Nikita Nesterov will step into the lineup, and Kristers Gudlevskis has been summoned from Syracuse in the American League, and he will spell Ben Bishop. Big Ben getting a night off, going against Corey Crawford, of course, winning his 2nd cup last year for the Hawks. Tampa Bay Lightning hockey at Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By Lazy Days RV. Go on the road with Lazy Days RV, the RV authority. By Toyota. Let's go places. And by Outback Steakhouse. Steak done right. Order online at Outback.com. Great look at the beautiful skyline of downtown Chicago. Lightning back in Chicago a little bit longer than 4 months after the Hawks beat the Lightning in 6 games to win the Stanley Cup Final. Ryan Callahan, one of the veterans who went through that experience. We talked with him just before the game about this can't be just another game on the schedule for the Lightning. His thoughts about coming back to Chicago.
It is another game, but there's a lot of emotions involved. I think coming back into this building, knowing that you lose Game 6 here, a lot of memories run back in your mind, and the disappointment it was, but also, I mean, the excitement of the finals. You know, I think walking into the building tonight for the game, a lot of stuff came back to me and how exciting the finals were. So I think you get a little bit more energy going into this one.
A tough back-to-back off that up-and-down game in Winnipeg last night, but the Lightning lifted by the emotion of coming back to Chicago. Hopefully that helps them get through this one and they can win both games. Tampa Bay Lightning hockey at Fox Sports Sun is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers. Welcome back inside the United Center. Packed as usual for this rematch. Let's have a look at our starting netminders, brought to you by Papa John's.
Kristers Godlewski is called up from Syracuse. He's 2-0-0 down there, a .930 save percentage. He stopped 53 out of 55 pucks that he's seen so far. He's played very well. And there's Corey Crawford. 5 games played. He's 3-2, .917 save percentage, and he had his 150th win the other day against Florida. John Cooper going with 7 defensemen and 11 forwards. And there's Joel Quenneville of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, we're underway as the Hawks open up with Jonathan Toews, Marian Hossa, Victor Tikhonov, new face on left wing there, and the triplets open for the Lightning with Nikita Kucherov, Tyler Johnson, Andre Palat. Palat getting that game winner in overtime in Winnipeg last night, set up by Stamkos and Hedman. But here's a play with Johnson coming away with the puck, getting to the corner, firing, kicked out as it just skimmed off the pad of Crawford. As Brian pointed out in the open, they had plenty of chances to get on the board. They haven't had a problem generating opportunities, Brian.
No, they could have had 4 or 5 goals last night. Tyler Johnson could have had a hat trick easily. He had some wide open looks at the net, including a breakaway. Look for him to be pushing tonight.
Well, Tikhonov backhands it in deep now as the Hawks going for a change. It's played out and down the ice. And now Crawford's got to play it with Drouin on the scene. Let's have a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by your Southern Ford dealers.
Well, I think for the entire team, forechecks like the Paquette and the Johnson lines did, they'll be in really good shape, and they'll spend a lot of time at Chicago's end. And the other thing is you have to control the Anisimov line. They've got 9 points in 3 games. Anisimov in the middle with Patrick Kane on the right and Artemi Panarin on the left side. Real puck control artists, and they're really producing.
Faceoff won by Anisimov. He was part of the deal that sent Brandon Saad to Columbus, and they try to spring Patrick Kane up ice. Victor Hedman right there with him when we get an icing call.
Well, there's one of the things that they're going to do. Off the faceoff, when you win faceoffs, if you're the Chicago Blackhawks, you have some set plays. You can't be sleeping. And they control the puck. Real nice job by Seabrook. He tried to fake like he was going to go up the boards, but an even better job by Hedman to realize that Kane was on the fly. You don't get a second chance with him if you screw it up.
Lightning win the faceoff. Stamkos with a shot. It's blocked by Kane. Dribbles to the corner. Jonathan Drouin in there battling. Stamkos to Drouin behind the net. Has Callahan in front. They look for him. Plenty of red uniforms on the scene, though, and Crawford covers.
I don't think anybody's going to be really overly tired for the Lightning. John Cooper did a really good job of managing the minutes of everybody, especially the big-time guys, and that includes this top line. When they're only playing, 18, 19 minutes, that's not a whole lot for those guys, and I think there are a couple of them there were only playing 17 or 18 minutes. So in back-to-back games, yeah, it's tough in Winnipeg and Chicago back-to-back, but if you haven't, have been pushed to 22 or 23 minutes at the forward, should be able to do it.
Quick shot by Kucherov, and a save by Crawford. Alex Killorn digging that puck free. Here's Nikita Nesterov suiting up for this game. Of course, was out with a 2-game suspension, a healthy scratch last night, and the Hawks are going to take another icing call here as Nesty, part of that 7 defenseman setup that John Cooper has used so effectively.
There's a look at Joel Quenneville, who's got to assimilate a lot of new faces, some brand new faces in his lineup, guys like Panarin and Tikhonov, but other players who only played a little bit for them last year, like Van Riemsdyk and Rundblad. Those guys, 6 or 7 faces after, a team has won a Stanley Cup. That's like starting over again from scratch in many ways. So this Chicago team is rebuilding itself on the fly here early on in the season.
And they were dealt a significant blow with the knee surgery for Duncan Keith, the Conn Smythe Trophy winner, and what an outstanding player he's been through his career and how many minutes he plays, quality minutes. They've got to find some replacement minutes on that back line that's already been thin because of their success and the salary cap problems.
Well, when Duncan Keith is out there, I mean, the game is so much more under control for the Blackhawks. Not having him means a lot of guys have got to play extra minutes in big-time situations. We'll see where that goes, and that's where Tampa will be looking to pressure those young defense.
Andre Schuster forced out to center. Nesterov on. Makes the play to Valtteri Filppula, starting it in with Alex Killorn firing at a stop by Crawford. Anisimov, the big centerman who started his NHL career with the Rangers, spent 3 years with Columbus before coming to Chicago. And as Brian points out, he's had immediate success clicking with Panarin and Kane. Crawford handles that puck, finds Rundblad. Across for Trevor Daley with the Stars for 11 years now, coming over in a deal that they had to make to send Patrick Sharp to the Dallas Stars. We've seen the other half of that deal.
Well, Daley's a very dangerous player. He's more offensive than Duncan Keith, but with Keith out of the lineup as the puck goes into the bench and we'll get a face-off. There's a look at Trevor Daley, 10 years with the Stars. He had 16 goals last year as a defenseman. They were a wide-open throttle team last year, certainly a lot of nights in Dallas, and he was a big part of that. The way the game is played now, you want your defenseman up on the play. He can skate. He has certainly those offensive talents. The question is, will he be able to carry a big load, especially these next 4 to 6 weeks or so with Duncan Keith out of the lineup? Is he going to be the guy with extra big minutes?
Hawks coming off a 3-2 win Thursday against the Panthers, and their big defensive pair is from that game is on right now. Trevor Van Riemsdyk played 22.5 minutes paired with Nicholas Chalmerson. As the puck comes to Matt Carl, he'll float one out in front, backhanded just wide by Johnson. Chance for Tyler Johnson right off the bat here. And the Hawks moving ahead for Marian Hossa. Carl got a stick in there, and it deflects into the Tampa Bay bench.
Well, Tyler Johnson's getting scoring chances again, and that's what star players want. If I'm getting the chances, they'll always say, I know it'll come. Well, Johnson had his chances last night. There's the puck, and he actually knocks it out of the air. He prevented the original shot, I think, from getting to the net. Great eye-hand coordination, tried to go top shelf there on that little scooper backhand shot, but he was really frustrated in that flat-out breakaway that he had. A terrific setup by Andre Palat. He was just blowing through the neutral zone, and he didn't miss the net. I mean, that's a good sign for me, Rick. When a guy's struggling, at least you're hitting the goalie and not missing the net.
Keane goes down. He'll draw a penalty on Nesterov, who bobbled the puck at the line. And that's where the trouble began. A tripping call to Nesterov coming up here at 3:37.
I always look at these kind of plays as
minor for tripping.
The defenseman is always in a vulnerable position. You got a bouncing puck. If you mess it up, then you're really in a bad spot. The forward, they will gamble and try to poke it by you, and if they don't, it's a play that nobody ever remembers in the game. So the defenseman puts himself in a tough situation, can't get the handle on the puck. In this case, it's Nesterov, and ends up taking the feet out from underneath Kane.
So you had a power play chance for the Hawks, who've been hot lately with the power play. They've yet to test Gudlevsky's, as they're 4 of their last 13 the last couple of games, but the Lightning get an early clear. Tampa Bay has killed 7 in a row. Only shorthanded 1 time last night. That certainly helps your penalty killing when you're not taking penalties. Brent Seabrook to center. He had 3 points in that game against the Panthers, as did Patrick Kane. Puck comes back to Seabrook, watched by Ryan Callahan. Kane hands it off. Panarin out to Seabrook. He'll fire, and it's gloved by Gudlevsky's. He'll hang on with Andrew Shaw as usual out in front of that net.
Well, there's Brent Seabrook, as advertised by you, Rick. He doesn't get as much power play time over the last couple of years as he probably will now. He's got a big, heavy shot. He's got his offensive abilities, too. It was always Duncan Keith and Patrick Sharp would jump back on the point, and those guys would lead it off. Seabrook would certainly clean up and get some time, but he's going to get a lot more, and don't underestimate that big shot, which you just saw right there.
Filppula going against Anisimov in his faceoff. Filppula working with Killorn up front on the shorthanded unit and winning the faceoff back to Carl. He'll rim it, and the Hawks head back. 50 seconds gone on the penalty. Daley and Rundblad will bring it up ice for Chicago. And the pass interrupted by Killorn, and the play goes offside. Trent Knorr on the call.
Good job there by the Lightning. Stand your ground. Stand up at the blue line as best you can. Chicago didn't have much speed coming through the neutral zone, so Alex Killorn and his teammates were able to stand up and jam them at the blue line. They bobble the puck, and it ends up offside.
Osa's stick breaks now as Carl will wrist it back down the ice. Lightning have had games in this building early in the season when they've been here, Brian, where Ben Bishop stood on his head. They didn't have a shot for the first period on one occasion. And Bishop literally, as John Cooper said, stole 2 points in a shootout win over the Blackhawks. Shots early on, 3-1 Lightning. Much better start, but they've got to kill the penalty. Hossa shooting. Gudlevskis makes the save. Rundblad pressured by Filppula. Teuvo Teravainen now working on this power play. He's got the puck. Very effective in the playoffs. That shot blocked by Matt Carl. Scampers after the puck. He'll clear it. Lightning get a change.
Real good job there by Matt Carl to read that play, because Daly, the defenseman, had moved down, and Anisimov was on that far corner as well. If that puck gets through, it's probably in the net.
Kane and Panarin at his pocket, picked by Kadra right at the line. Penalty ending to Nesterov. Lightning getting through that shorthanded situation pretty well. Looking to apply some pressure here. But moving it out, it's Jonathan Toews ahead to Kane. Fires across. Panarin loads up, shoots, and it ends up out of play off the netting.
Well, there's the twosome that we were talking about. Kane and Panarin coming back the other way. If you don't account for them, and they're especially good when Chicago turns pucks over in their zone. They'll get the quick up to players like Kane and Panarin, and boy, you're in big trouble then, because they move the puck so well. Chicago doing the job along the wall, and there's where the play is made by guess who? Jonathan Toews. Toews forcing that puck up, and then the pass across, and then the shot is well deflected by Coburn.
Face-off won by Hinostroza, and that shot ends up out of play off the netting behind the net. Talking to Steven Stamkos before the game, Brian, about playing in front of Gudlevskis. So, of course, Bishop's played every minute to this point. He says, well, we've needed to tighten things up defensively. We know we're going to have to be conscious of that, and we've seen some shot blocking early on.
Yeah, and, you know, it's a good move by John Cooper in a lot of ways. Bishop needed some rest for sure after 8 straight, but players do play differently, especially when you have a goaltender who hasn't played a game yet this year. They know that he needs some help and some support. They're going to redo this faceoff. But that's a good thing for the team. It's a good thing for the coaching staff to say, hey, you guys give this guy some support. He played really well in the 2 games that he played in the American League after a kind of a mediocre training camp, I thought.
Teravainen wins the faceoff. Seabrook getting to it, fires, and it's kept wide by Gudlevskis. Victor Svedberg, a big defenseman at 6'8" and almost 240 pounds out there with Seabrook. Schuster with a pass, relayed at the line to Stamkos, beats up with Seabrook, who forced it behind the net. Stamkos lost the handle. Teravainen moving it ahead to Ryan Garbutt. He came over with Daly from Dallas in that trade with Johnny Oduya and Sharp going to the Stars. Schuster comes away with a puck. Bring it across for Coburn. Sends it ahead and reaching. Stamkos at the line. He left it. Hinostroza, the young centerman, playing it now to Shaw. Andrew Shaw double teamed, and he had his taken off his stick by Callahan and fed back down the ice. We get a signal for an icing call, and now waved off as Chalmerson could have caught up to it. Desjardins swings out of his own zone. Andrew Desjardins cutting in, and his shot is deflected. And the Lightning getting pucks on sticks in the early going here. No score, 7 minutes into this first period. No score here in the first period. Here's our GMC big matchup.
Patrick Kane, whenever he's in the game, you have to keep track of him. Look at the numbers he's put up against the Lightning. He puts up tremendous numbers against everybody. He's shooting a little bit more this year so far, and I think maybe playing with Panarin has had an effect on him. I think he sees some of himself in Artemi Panarin, and Panarin makes big-time plays, and Kane's the one that's getting set up. He loves to set people up for those beautiful cross-side passes. Kane does. Now he's the recipient. He's got 5 goals and 5 assists already and leads the Blackhawks so far.
He didn't get to 5 goals last year until game 17.
Right.
So it's a nice start for him. And we were talking with some of the Hawks folks before the game about Tyler Johnson looking for his first goal going through 8 games. And Jonathan Toews doesn't have a goal yet. Hossa's got 1 goal. And here's a guy that's got almost 500 for his career.
Yeah, I don't think you worry about any of those guys. You don't worry about Johnson because he does so many good things. He's a well-rounded player. And, of course, for the Blackhawks, the two guys you just mentioned, Taves and Hossa, two of the best in the business. You know, eventually they are going to get their goals.
Seabrook. Pass intercepted by Filppula. Kept it on the line. Playing it back for Jonathan Drouin. Lightning with the 11 forwards. We'll see some different combos. Alex Killorn checked in the corner by Marcus Kruger. Desjardins digging in there against Drouin. The Lightning come away with it. Jason Garrison across for Victor Hedman shooting, and it's tipped away as Killorn reached in there to get a piece of that shot. Svedberg starts it ahead for Desjardins. He'll throw it in behind Shaw, blocked at the line by Filppula. And now Victor Hedman missed one game last weekend against Buffalo. He's come back with 5 assists in 2 games.
And he's right up in the lead in the National Hockey League with 9 assists total in this season. He has been tremendous every game.
Johnson cut up to there by Hossa. Chalmerson keeps it on the outside. And it ends up by Strawman down the ice. We get an indication for an icing call, and that's the call there. The Little Caesars Family Fun Pack scores you 4 tickets, 4 pizzas, 4 ice creams, 4 sodas or waters for select Saturday and Sunday games. Packages start as low as $100. Buy now at TampaBayLightning.com.
John Cooper said something interesting about the triplets a few weeks ago. He said every player looks at his ice time from period to period and game to game. He said the triplets look at their ice time as a trio, and they're only concerned about what happens to them as a group. I found that very interesting. I don't know that I've heard that ever before because you don't see threesomes stay together much.
Palat checked in front by Hossa. And the Hawks moving ahead. Here's Taves across the line with Tikhonov. Taves firing, saved by Gudlevskis, and the rebound try denied. As in behind the net, it's Johnson. Finds Kucherov. Tyler Johnson setting up the game-opening goal. Scored by Coburn last night in Winnipeg. Kucherov stepping in, dazzling move, but down he went.
I think he stepped on the stick of Hjalmarsson. And sometimes you see tripping calls there, but no call on this one.
Hossa with the Hawks hoping to change here. They dump it in. Stamkos rolling it back to Schuster. Schuster. His pass deflected by Kruger. Stays in the zone. Here's Kane on the backhand. Lets it go. Gudlevski shuts him off. Covers that puck before Anisimov could arrive.
Gudlevski's with some really key saves here in this sequence. Let's go back to the Jonathan Taves shot. Taves is going to end up with a good scoring chance coming right across the middle here. He pulls the trigger quickly, and he rips one there on the blocker side. And then the rebound comes right out to Van Riemsdyk. He makes that save as well. And then here's the last save he made. Good job holding his ground on that short side against Kane.
Taves may very well remember Gudlevski's starring for Latvia in the Olympics a couple of years ago with that 55 save performance. Canada barely escaping and, of course, winning the goal.
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure in that game because Latvia had, nowhere to go. I mean, if they had won the game, it would have been all time. And get shelled like that with so many shots.
Hedman blocked that wraparound try by Kane. Harrison takes the puck for the Lightning ahead for Ryan Callahan. Hedman joining the rush. Cuts in, swings wide, hooks it in front, tipped by Callahan. It's on goal, rebound. Drouin was stopped in there by Crawford as well, and Kane rescues the puck for the Blackhawks.
You know what, Rick Hedman is so good at disguising what he does. That looked like he was either going to use the end wall or take a shot, and that was like a hook pass to the front of the net.
I think they've seen him from the finals last year make a play down that left side and find a trailer coming in through the back door on that play, and Callahan was available to tip that pass on goal. Svedberg challenged in there by Nemestikov, got underneath him, the big young defenseman who goes 6'8" and 238. A penalty upcoming to Chicago, delayed call. Matt Carl backing it out as Gudlevskis gets to the bench. Lightning get a 6-skater on. Condra fights off the check from Garbutt. Lightning still in control. Here comes Filppula. He finds Carl. And he'll move it back around to Condra. We got Cedric Paquette stationed in front. Pass coming to Carl. He'll look that way. Shoot. And it's tipped just wide by Condra. The Hawks control. And the Lightning power play will get their first opportunity here in a scoreless first period. Close call with Callahan's tip.
That line was at it again last shift. Paquette in the middle, Nemestikov and Condra terrific forechecking again, and they draw the penalty just on the defense, on top of them at every turn. Playing the body, being in the way, turning pucks over, creating a lot of havoc, and then right there along the end wall, Paquette keeping his feet moving, and Rundblad reaches out with his stick and hooks him a little bit, so a power play opportunity here for the Lightning.
Lightning in the early going, 21.7%, now tied for 10th in the rankings. Hawks tied for 12th on the kill, 83.3%. Puck up for grabs, the Lightning win it. Filppula leaving it for Steven Stamkos. Hedman with it. Now to Drouin. Callahan parked in front. That shot blocked by Chalmerson, and it's chopped free by Desjardins.
Good try by Drew, and he had the right idea because Callahan was in front, but you have to remember that Chalmerson might be the best shot blocker in the entire NHL.
Here's Hedman cutting in wide again. He'll keep it on the boards for Callahan, fencing with Chalmerson. Hossa knocked it free, sent down the ice by Taves, and he's looking to put a little pressure on Gudlevskis. Drouin throws it across. Here's Stamkos, and Hossa getting back. We've seen him on the back check a couple of times. Here's Stamkos firing, and he just sends it wide off the toe of his stick, and it rockets back to the Lightning zone.
Yeah, and Drouin was skating behind the net, and I think he looked back at Stamkos and went, "Hey, I'm here at the net."
50 seconds remaining on the penalty to Rundblad. Former St. Louis first rounder. Here's Johnson, stopped at the line. Desjardins worked it free. Gudlevskis has played once in the regular season for the Lightning. He beat Columbus 3-2, was outstanding in that game at the tail end of 2013-14, and then saw action in 2 playoff games in the series against Montreal in relief of Anders Lindback, and played well, though the Lightning swept in that series. Hawks come up with a puck, and it's cleared out. Not very far, though. They re-enter with Johnson leading it for Palat, but it ends up on Seabrook's stick. Ahead for Garbutt, busting out with Anisimov. Ryan Garbutt swings and shoots, saved by Gudlevskis. He'll make the save and hang on with 3 seconds to go on the penalty.
Let's go back to the Drouin shot against Chalmerson. I'll show you what I'm talking about, shot blocking. Chalmerson will show you something like the straight on, and then he'll all of a sudden turn sideways. That one he just gets a foot on. Sometimes he'll drop down to one knee, and he won't do it until the last second. He's almost like a second goaltender out there. So what you see at the beginning is not necessarily what's going to happen once you shoot the puck. He's got excellent timing, so you have to be aware who you're out there against and find a way to fit it through or work on somebody else.
Rundblad out of the box. Each team's killed a penalty with 7 minutes to go in the first with no score. Cedric Paquette turns it to Condra, driving it off the pads of Crawford. And Paquette got it out in front. It's just deflected away. And Carl playing it back behind the net.
Crawford had no idea where that rebound went either.
Nemestikov stirring it up in the Chicago zone. Got to get it back down the boards. And a second effort held it in for an extra moment. Now Daly with it. Working with Rundblad. On the one touch, it's Panarin stepping in. Going to slip it through to Kane. He's well accounted for by Carl. Kane battling to get control. Kept to the outside, though. Van Riemsdyk shooting, and it's tipped by Panarin off the rear glass. Chalmerson tees it up. He'll fire, and it's blocked by Condra. Lightning get a chance for a change with that big Karam coming back. Trevor Van Riemsdyk, he saw action in 4 games in the finals. Missed 64 games last year because of injury. Joe Quenneville really wanted to get him in the lineup throughout the season, but he just couldn't get healthy.
He's got all the tools and all the size, and this is his opportunity to really make a statement with Keith out of the lineup.
Hawks penetrating, Garbutt shooting, saved by Gudlevskis. He hangs on. Hinostroza cutting by the net. No rebound for him because the Latvian netminder held it for the whistle.
Cedric Paquette almost did it again. Watch as he comes out from behind the net. Watch how close this is to going in. This actually goes in behind Crawford on a glancing blow off a skate. How that didn't go in the net, I don't know. Watch, it hits him in the hip, just barely brushes him, and somehow trickles right across the line. No wonder Crawford didn't know where it was. I'll bet you he thought it was going to go in. And then at the other end, Godlewski does a real nice job here from in close. He hasn't given anything from those sharp angle shots. Garbutt had a chance, and Godlewski swallows it up.
Anisimov winning the face-off, and the shot deflected right back to him. Kane missed the net. Seabrook with it. Drouin out on him. And Aaron, the 23-year-old forward, played for the KHL champion team in St. Petersburg, Russia last year with Tikhonov. They were both signed as free agents. Anisimov, checked by Coburn, kick free. Stamkos hops on it. Finds Callahan, deflected out. Drouin pressuring. Patrick Kane. Stamkos coming up with a puck down to Callahan. And it flicked off his stick with a long reach of Svedberg. Svedberg practicing with the Black Aces through the playoffs last year. He was on the ice every single day with Chicago. Got a good look at the pressure that his present teammates were under during those playoffs to win the cup. Now getting his opportunity to play. Pass behind Kane and pried loose by Condra. Ahead for Jonathan Drouin. Back to Condra, joined by Hedman. He wants that puck, gets it, fires off the post. Lightning really have hit two posts. Pass out in front, and it's deflected behind the net as Filppula couldn't get it on goal. Rifled in deep, and Condra takes it, overskates it. You count the one that Corey Crawford's best friend saved the goal on the try by Paquette, and now that one.
Yeah, and that's Hedman joining the rush again at exactly the right time. Just from the red line in, it's sort of a half-court press, but Hedman just ripped that shot, and Crawford wasn't ready for the speed of it.
Tikhonov on there with Hossa and Taves. Good work by the Lightning in the neutral zone. Here's Hedman, leans on that pass, sails it over the blade of Filppula, and the Lightning will not be able to change on the icing call.
A lot of different line combinations because only 11 forwards in the lineup, and Victor Hedman acting like a forward, but Condra and Drouin with a real nice give and go through the neutral zone, and then Hedman, who's yelling for the puck, is open on the side. Maybe it was deflected a little bit, but he got a lot on that shot, and it goes off the near side post, and Hedman's on a roll with points in consecutive games here.
9 assists in the 7 games, but looking for that first goal as Killorn calms down the puck, and he'll play it behind the Chicago net. Chalmerson in the rush. Hinostroza has to turn back for it, the Notre Dame product. Now with Palat taking over in his pass, he got dumped. A Chicago penalty to Chalmerson for a hook, and the Lightning getting a late first period power play in this scoreless tie.
Well, getting in on the puck on the forecheck again is always an important part.
Number 4, minor penalty hooking.
Chalmerson, who is their best penalty killer, won't be able to help him on this one because he's the culprit. But it was Palat getting in on the puck, and when you keep moving your feet in the offensive zone, you can turn pucks over, and when you do, you have that defenseman in a bad situation. Palat gets really good body position off that puck coming off the end wall, gets Chalmerson in a vulnerable position, and Chalmerson just kind of jackknifes him down to the ice.
And Palat picks up the puck there as Seabrook overskated it. It comes back to Strawman. Now to Johnson. He feeds it in front, and it's deflected by Killorn, but went wide. Strawman again. Around now to Kucherov in the slot. Killorn couldn't get turned to get the shot away. Johnson loses his stick, and it's cleared out. Lightning a little more assertive, getting to pucks quicker than they did last night in the first period in Winnipeg.
Well, forechecking and retrieving pucks, even when you're on the power play, it's a really important part of the power play. You have to dump it in sometimes. You got to go get it.
Kucherov with that low shot kicked out by Crawford. Lightning off to a rough start in Winnipeg last night. It may be a conscious thing here, knowing that you're under the gun. The team got to the hotel at 2 a.m. last night coming in from Winnipeg. Hawks rested from the Thursday night game. And we heard on Lightning Live pregame, Stamkos and Callahan. Here's a shot by Stamkos, a save by Crawford. Stamkos got all of that one. And from a dead-on angle,
What a brilliant pass by Hedman on the backhand.
Callahan turns back. Handing it to Hedman. Back for Callahan now with 35 seconds to go on the penalty to Chalmerson. Here comes Hedman in the zone. Feeds it back out in front. It was tipped. It came to Ryan Garbutt. He'll leave it. And Anisimov carries on. Stamkos back. And Stamkos played him well. Stole the puck. Challenged by Garbutt. Drouin has it. Callahan playing it back to Drouin. Well covered though. And Garbutt with it. Protects it. Shoots it. Turned aside by Gudlevskis.
I think Drouin wanted a penalty there. He got stripped from behind. He was looking around at the referee. Garbutt did a pretty good job of stealing that one. It was dangerous for a second.
Chalmerson stepping out of the box. Reached out to dislodge the puck from Palat's stick. But the Lightning continue on in the Chicago zone, and it's lifted out now with 1:18 to go in the first period. Carl back around for Garrison. Kucherov waiting. Gonna leave it for Johnson. Dangerous play. Teravainen the steal. The move. His pass was blocked though by Palat. Palat handing it now to Johnson. Scampering up the middle of the ice with under a minute to go, and Teravainen with it. Back for Panarin. Artemi Panarin trying to make a move to the middle, and the wily Anton Strawman wouldn't let him. Kane pressuring. Comes back to Seabrook. Back to Kane. Leaving it for Teravainen. Panarin fakes the shot. Lost the handle on it. Almost gave up a breakaway to Kucherov. Panarin bumped as he dumps it in. Couple of high-risk plays there at that blue line for both teams.
Chicago, when they've got their skilled guys out there, they're going to try to do things that sometimes you probably shouldn't by the book, but they get away with it pretty often.
Schuster now with 8 seconds to go. Hedman will drive it back in wide of Crawford. Condra up the boards. And there's the horn with one last try deflected, and we're not done yet. Paquette digs in there against Vedberg. Crawford getting involved. And Paquette wants a piece of the action. We saw in action against Brian Little last night.
Exactly, and it was at the end of the first period, right in the last couple of seconds of the first, just like last night, and Winnipeg really had taken over the game at that point. I thought it was a key point to get the rough stuff going last night, and he does it again here.
Well, we'll see if he can spark them on consecutive nights. Stay tuned for the Gulf Coast Honda Dealers First Intermission Report. Eric Condra will chat with Paul Kennedy and the Chief Bobby Taylor in just a moment. We'll present a feature on using last year's Stanley Cup Final experience for motivation for this season. Highlights and stats from period one, and the Lightning pretty sharp first period against Chicago, though they come away scoreless through 20 minutes. Tampa Bay Lightning hockey on Fox Sports Sun is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers. Welcome back to the Windy City. Lightning and Blackhawks scoreless through 20 minutes of play. Pretty good period for the Lightning. Under a back-to-back. No Ben Bishop, no Brian Boyle for this game, going with 7 defense, 11 forwards. And Brian, as far as the Lightning with a solid start to this game, what was the key for them?
Well, I thought their forecheck was really good. When they had their best shifts, they got in deep. Cedric Paquette and his line, I think, started it off, but I think every line had a couple of shifts there where they put a lot of pressure on the Chicago Blackhawks defense. And that means that the forwards of Chicago are going to come in and help out. Then you start to get room for your defensemen if you can turn the puck over and get it back to the point. And I really like Paquette sticking his nose in there again. He did it in Winnipeg at the very end of the first period. The guys talked about it in the studio. He drags people into the fray. Now, you know, when you have a little pushing and shoving match or a little bit of a scrap, then everybody's blood starts to run a little bit on both teams. So that means everybody is dragged into it, and the level goes up, and the Lightning are a very good second period team.
Shots even, scoring chances an edge for the Lightning there. They had 2 power play opportunities, not one of their better periods in the face-off circle. A rare off period for them, the way they've been going lately.
Yeah, and when you look at the shots, Rick, I looked this morning at it. Overall, combined in the games, the Lightning have 59 first period shots, 90 in the second. So it shows you how they ramp it up in second periods here. You need to do it here.
Strawman moving that puck to Eric Condra. And took it over by Rundblad at center. Quickly into the hands of the forwards. And it's deflected to the line. Rundblad with it. Feeding it now to Desjardins. He maneuvers and fires wide. Trevor Daley holding it in. This pairing only getting about 3.5 minutes for the Blackhawks in the first period. As you know, Joel Quenneville likes to lean on his top four, though that top four has really changed in personnel since last year.
Yeah, it's different when you have a Duncan Keith who can play 30 minutes in a rocking chair, it seems like.
Puck deflected in front. Hawks do control under a delayed penalty signal, and interference will be the call to the 46-second mark. So the Legs are moving for the Lightning in this game.
Chicago, number 5, 2 minutes interference.
Well, Jonathan Toews was well positioned in the neutral zone in the slot to turn the puck over. That is the interference call. That hit was just a little late after the fact. The referees really clamped down on that. Once you dump the puck in, you are not fair game. You could ride a guy off a little bit, but Rundblad seemed incredulous when he went to the penalty box with another power play here for the Lightning.
Blackhawks penalty to number 5.
Van Riemsdyk fires off the glass and down the ice.
36 seconds.
Edmund trailed by Toews.
2 minutes for interference.
Toews off to a perfect start in the face-off circle. 6-0 now. As Hedman makes his way to center and leaving it for Filppula. Encounters some resistance. Works around it. Angles it back around. Chalmerson there. Shank the attempt to clear. However, Hossa will get the job done.
You know what, Filppula did a really good job there of taking the zone, but then he slowed up and he used the end wall. That puts the puck back on the wall again and allows Chicago to recover. Chicago recovers and gets it down the ice. Filppula had room to hang on and get a better pass.
Now he's going to shoot. That's deflected by Seabrook, and Svedberg will slide it down the ice.
Getting the puck in the zone and getting set up on the power play is the biggest nightmare for power play coaches and for the players. It's a lot harder to do than you think.
Palat had Drouin busting through. Goes back to Strawman as they do get set up. Around for Drouin. He's got Palat near the net. Drouin with Johnson floating through the slot along with Kucherov. There's a drive that's blocked. And that fell Chalmerson. And it's cleared out. He got the one earlier with his skate blade, but not this one.
I think they should be setting up on the other side. Chalmerson, I already pointed out and shows right there. He blocks shots like you read about, reads plays. I would work the other side with Van Riemsdyk, who's less experienced.
Alex Killorn beaten to that pass around the boards by Seabrook. However, it's up for grabs here, and Johnson leaving it for Strawman. Nikita Kucherov looks toward the net. Strawman now to Johnson. Back to Strawman. Johnson again. He's got Palat parked near the net. Lost the puck to Anisimov. 3 seconds to go on the penalty. The lead for Kane. He'll catch up to it. He shoots. Saved by Godlewskis as the penalty to Rundblad has expired.
Boy, Garbutt's been a going concern here. He had 3 good shots in the first period and another chance there, that puck off the wall.
Here's Kucherov bumped along the boards. Top free, it comes to Anisimov. He'll lift it out. Good speed shown by Garrison. To get to that puck and around for Killorn. Bounced away to Van Riemsdyk. On the one touch, Panarin stepping in. Now to Kane. Fires across and Toews with it. From the point, Daley's shot is deflected. And it ends up in the corner. Nesterov needed some help in locating that puck, and his teammates were there to call out. Daley back for it. Back to Patrick Kane. They relay it now to Panarin. Slams on the brakes. Cedric Paquette right there defensively. Garrison moves that puck along, and out comes Eric Condra. Good pass to Nesterov, but it just dribbled on him at the line. The Lightning get the line. However, the pass coming back to center. Schuster flips it in. Corey Crawford there for it. Daley chips it out. And Coburn back. Will have to play it. Schuster there to help him out. Hawks go for a quick change. Seabrook steals the pass. And Godlewskis. He'll wind it back in the corner for Schuster. Ryan Callahan caught up two along the boards by Teravainen. Works it out to Nemestikov. And the Hawks take over. Seabrook with it. There's a pass to Hinostroza. The 21-year-old is chased back to center. He's from the area, from Bartlett, a village that's about 35 miles northwest of Chicago. And he and Scott Darling both from the area here in Chicago on this roster. Pass for Hossa. Going to slip in behind Schuster, who reached back and delayed him just enough. And now comes Stamkos through center. Drouin by his side. A lot of Hawks waiting at the line. And Drouin as he maneuvers in front. His pass blocked, and it bounced to Taves. Taves back the other way. Now to Hossa. Shooting, and it's tipped behind the net by Callahan, who recovered defensively.
Offensively, Chicago is so much like the Lightning. They use the width of the ice so well.
And Riemsdyk with a shot. He flubbed that one, and Callahan takes it for Tampa Bay. 4 Hawks back as he hits the line. Gonna hang in there, and Tikhonov, the former Arizona first-round pick, playing it back to his defense. The Hawks get it out. Matt Carl pursued by Kane. Looking for help. Anissimov's stick was canceled. Panarin now caught up to by Hedman. Hedman bowls his way to that puck. However, the Lightning couldn't get it out. It's held in by Rundblad. Kane circling with it. Hedman draws the assignment there. Panarin with the shot. Saved by Gudlevskis. Matt Carl chips it out. Held up by Daly. And now Panarin. Artemi Panarin maneuvers in. Two-time KHL All-Star, signed just on May 1st of last spring by the Hawks. Here's Kane shooting. Blocked by Hedman. Bouncing puck. And Namestnikov forced them back to center.
Smart play by Hedman. Get close to Patrick Kane as quickly as possible. He didn't give him enough time to room or maneuver to shoot the puck. He got close to him and blocked the shot.
Zach back with Crawford, and he'll get the whistle with 13:12 to go in the second period. Still no score in this hockey game here in Chicago.
Holding your blue line is a tricky thing. You have to read speed and motion. Watch Schuster at the blue line here. Motion is from Hossa, who's on the move. Schuster is not. He's dead still. But he's got really good reach, and he just stuck with it there. Otherwise, Hossa, who is on the move, has a chance to go in all alone. And then here's Chicago using the width of the ice. They do the same as the Lightning do. There's a little bit of a bobble by Hossa, and then the terrific back-checking work by Callahan, who never gives up on the play, always gets his stick, finds a way to get in there. Had he given up for a second, Hossa could have recovered and got a shot on net. Well done there by Callahan.
Face-off won by Shaw. Brian, one of the ways that you can tell if a team's got their legs in a back-to-back is how well they back-check. The Lightning have done a very good job with it.
The will to do it, too, goes away. It's usually the will before the legs that go in the back-check.
Puck tapped away from Van Riemsdyk by Palat, who has had that extra effort all night long, winning pucks and forcing the Hawks back. Desjardins chips it down the boards. Garrison over for it. And a look for Nesterov. Nikita Nesterov with a pass ahead for Palat. Has room to maneuver in. Tyler Johnson with it. Going to feed it across. That was spoiled by Teravainen. Palat gets it back. Plays it over to Kucherov. And Chalmerson chopped it away from it. Hawks move it ahead to Teravainen. Cutting in. Hinostroza's pass. Picked off by Nesterov. Nice little give-and-go attempt by the young forward, who goes only 5'8", 160 pounds. He shoots here. A save by Gudlevskis. Teravainen. Now to Seabrook. Nesterov tangled up with Garbutt in the slot area. There's a pass in front, and Nesterov made sure he fronted his man to steal.
That's a terrific move there by Nesterov. Always in good position.
Namestnikov handles that pass as he works with Condra. Back in front. The shot by Buckhead. Crawford a save of the rebound. Namestnikov got it on net, and Crawford another stop. There's that line, creating chances again for the Lightning. Carl. Now is a collision with Seabrook and Paquette at the Lightning line, and Paquette got up a little slowly, but he's staying out there and has his bearings. But he looked a little shaken up initially.
Yeah, that was away from the play there. I didn't get a good look at that, Rick. I don't know if you did, but yeah, Paquette was a little slow to get up. That was way away from the puck.
Panarin, and the return pass, Kane with it, feeding it across, and Condra was there to take it away from Panarin. He had an open net. Kane. Some magic work by this line. Here's Kane shooting, and it's blocked. As Carl once again fronting his man out in front. Lightning have done a good job with that. Kane around the net, trailed by Paquette. Chalmerson circles the net, feeds it in the slot. Lightning in good position. However, the Hawks still have the puck. Kane fires in front. And Panarin, dazzling stick handling move. Has it behind the goal. Here's the shot. It's sent wide by Kane.
That's the combo that we talked about. Panarin and Kane getting a hand from the Chicago fans. They can dazzle you with their puck movement. They're always on the move, always heads up, and they know exactly who is open on their team.
Edmund gets it out. That was a real test for some man-to-man coverage, and the Lightning passed the test, it seemed. Here's Hossa, gets the lead, gets the legs moving, leaving it, Toews shoots, and he sends it over the shoulder of Gudlevsky's off the glass. Gudlevsky's goes 6'3", about 218. He'll cover a lot of net. Out comes Callahan for the Lightning. Crawford stays put. Strawman gets to it. And Seabrook, now in his 11th year with the Blackhawks, first-round pick in that vaunted first round of 2003 by then general manager Dale Talon. Play held in by Rundblad, and a high shot easily handled by Gudlevsky's with 9:34 to go in the second period. High tempo action, no score.
Those guys deserve a goal. Paquette, Nemesnikov, they've been like a bull in a china shop. Really good on the forecheck again. Sometimes it's just organized confusion on top of the play, causing havoc, loosening pucks up, get it back to the net. That's all good stuff. And then watch defensively here. Condra, number 22, is going to make a terrific defensive play. Just on the left of your screen there, away from the puck. He realizes that the most dangerous play is Panarin away from the puck because Kane has it. He deflected that pass. If it gets through, it's in.
Kane in front shooting. He just slides it wide. It comes out to Daly. Stamkos stays with him. And it's lifted out to center. They still have Panarin trapped in the zone. Rundblad, former Blues first-round pick, traded to Ottawa for a first-rounder, and it turned out to be Vladimir Tarasenko. Daly around for Anisimov. Kane on the gallop. Edmund drawing that assignment once again. Tough to get that matchup on the road. That shot was tipped, and it's over the net. Stamkos ahead for Filppula. Filppula leaving it for Stamkos. Killorn coming late. Tipped in front for Coburn. Panarin challenged, and Filppula has it. Stamkos takes a look, and he tried to find Schuster sneaking in. Coburn back around for Killorn. He freed up his stick. Schuster wristing it, and it's wide of Corey Crawford. Coburn checked by Hossa, and Panarin still out there. Turned back by the Lightning. Rundblad rifles that pass to Jonathan Toews at the line. Swings around a screen. He fires, and he sends it wide. And it caroms all the way to center.
Chicago's been able to use that neutral zone area because when they circle back with the puck and regroup, the defense of Tampa is backing off a little bit. It creates a bit of a gap, and that makes it dangerous, especially when guys like Toews are attacking with that extra 15 or 20 feet to work with.
Garbutt stirring it up right off the bench. Here's a try by Toews, turned aside from the side of the goal. And Chalmerson holds his position. Gudlevsky's makes a stop, waits for pressure, and he'll cover. Every Thursday is Throwback Bolts Day, brought to you by Ram. Tune in this Thursday. The Lightning take on the Avs, and we invite you to post the best Lightning vintage photo of yourself by using the hashtag #ThrowbackBolts. We'll select the best photo and feature it in the postgame show. Got some Bolts fans on hand here in Chicago.
When you play against Patrick Kane, and I think the Lightning have done a good job, is he's like a magician. It's like, watch my hands, watch my hands. He gets all 5 guys watching him sometimes. You can't do that. If you're not the guy on him, you have to look at the ice and see what he sees. Wayne Gretzky was the best all time about that. If you look at him too much, then he's going to take advantage of you by using somebody on his team on the far side of the ice. By the time you react, it'll be in the back of your net.
Condra frees up the puck now for Nesterov. He's bumped by Ryan Garbutt. Condra trying to pry it loose. Lightning get control. Fed back to Namestnikov. Garrison firing, and he sends it over the stick of Crawford. He got some pressure from his new best friend, Cedric Paquette. Gave him a little extra shot.
Paquette's nobody's friend in that red team, that's for sure. He has lots of friends in the white team, but you have to respect the way Paquette plays the game. He stirs things up every shift.
Stamkos winding it up through center. Hoists one in. Crawford has to let it go. Svedberg taken out by Stamkos. And the Hawks ease the pressure and clear it out. Victor Hedman moving it to Drouin. Zips the pass too far in front of Stamkos. Svedberg getting there for it. Around for Shaw. And Drouin backing up the play. Smartly tapped it back in deep. Pass ahead for Shaw. Waits for the puck to reach him. Matched up with Drouin. Drouin reaching in with a stick. Kruger has to take over. Hedman wraps him up. Desjardins challenged there by Strawman. Kruger had it worked free. Filppula spins it to an open man. He knew he had Drouin there. And it's Callahan sending it off Rundblad's stick. Under 6 minutes to go. Second period, still looking for our first goal of the game. Andrew Desjardins, acquired from San Jose last year for Ben Smith, playing it in. Killorn on left wing, and he's challenged by Rundblad. Puck deflects to center, bounce for Anisimov, getting it now to Panarin, swings to the middle with Kane, moving toward the net. Panarin, the backhand, saved by Gudlevskis.
That was another good back check by Condra to take away that pass.
Rundblad walking in, firing through a crowd. It's handled by Kristers Gudlevskis. He has been cool, and he's been sharp in stopping Panarin and company to this point. Lightning with a face-off in their own zone. Garrison slips it out to center. Van Riemsdyk, who, yes, his older brother is James Van Riemsdyk of the Leafs. Handling that puck, couldn't get it by Tyler Johnson. Hjalmarsson challenged by Kucherov. He took it away. Kucherov with it. A lot out of that corner looking for Johnson. It was deflected in front. Palat gets it back, rifled it out behind Carl, and out the center they come. Well, another thing, you talk about the chances Johnson getting. He's in the right spot all the time to get those chances.
Well, he's such an intelligent player. He reads the game so well that's what the smart players do. Sometimes other people are doing work for you, and when the time is right, you're in the right place and you get those chances.
Sometimes when guys are in a slump, they're more on the perimeter, but you can't say that about Johnson. He's been going to all the spots. Daly sends it ahead. Panarin on the one-touch, playing it in. Icing here against Chicago. Let's have a look at the Lightning's road ahead, brought to you by Toyota.
Well, the road hasn't been so fun touring through this Central Division, and they're not done yet. To go to see Tarasenko and the boys in St. Louis next, then come home and see Colorado. Gabe Landeskog and Patrice Bergeron and the Boston Bruins coming up as well. They've already played the Bruins once. Have not seen St. Louis or Colorado yet.
And the challenges keep coming.
A tough week.
It sure is. Every night, Drouin. Stick handling in a tight spot. Now to Callahan shooting, and Taves reached out with a stick. Drouin controlling it. Nice move. Still got the puck. Hacked at by Taves. And Taves will send it ahead. Patrick Kane. Nesterov on the scene defensively, joined by Drouin. Interesting matchup. Pass now to Svedberg, cranking one wide. Nesterov walled off Panarin so that he couldn't tap that puck into the open net with a sharp carom behind Gudlevskis. Kane Over to Svedberg firing, and that's tipped out of play as Callahan reached in there with 3:29 to go in the period.
Nesterov back in the lineup has made some really good defensive plays, especially here in this second period. His protection in front of his net and in his own zone really good. Every situation is different. Watch the puck come off the end wall. Great body position there, making sure that he protects the area in front of the net, didn't run right to the puck or try to take one wild stab at it and maybe miss. He made sure he walled off the play, and then the puck was cleared. That's good stuff from Nesterov.
Got 16-13 Chicago. Svedberg. Desjardins working it down low to Shaw. Desjardins knocked to a knee by Hedman. Svedberg with a shot, and it's blocked by Kucherov. Play forced to center, and still touching that puck. A Blackhawk on his way out. It was offside.
Kucherov getting in the shooting lane, and he's not so happy that he did right at the moment. He's got a sore left foot, looks like. But that's the price you got to pay, literally. If you're a forward, you have to get out in the shooting lanes. Coaches demand it. And boy, that's smart. So it looked like it might have hit him right on the side of the foot, or perhaps right on the laces. We'll get the feeling back in a minute.
Off the faceoff, Garbutt firing as he muscled his way to the puck, and Gudlevsky's turned it aside. Edmund trying to work it free. Garbutt turning, couldn't get that shot toward the net. Forced wide centered, and it was blocked by Gudlevsky's. He didn't leave the post. Edmund playing it out for Eric Condra, chipped down the ice. Gudlevsky seeing action in 2 games in the American League, just giving up 2 goals and going 2-0. The Crunch playing at Utica tonight and at Rochester tomorrow to finish off a 3-3 night weekend. The Student Rush ticket scores you the best available seat, starting at just $20 for all home games. Text RUSH to 61873 to join our text club, or visit TampaBayLightning.com for more information.
Well, neither team has a lot of shots. It's 17-13 in favor of Chicago, but Tyler Johnson and the Lightning have not had a big-time period when it comes to puck possession and chances on net. They spent a lot more time in the neutral zone or in their end.
Well, Johnson wins that face-off, but Kucherov now has to backtrack to center. Playing it for Andre Palat. Chalmerson sends it up the middle, and it was touched by Tikhonov. No icing. Schuster couldn't get it out of the zone. Kucherov pitchforking it to the point, and the Hawks hold it in. Marian Hossa. It dribbles to Taves. He couldn't control it. Boy, that puck must have been spinning. Nobody could get a hold of that one. Carl trying to wall off Tikhonov. Tikhonov around the net. Playing it back out to Chalmerson. Sails one, and Gudlevsky's fought through the traffic to find that and blocker it away. Chalmerson out in front. Well played by Johnson.
Great body position there by Johnson as Tikhonov wanted to spin around to get a chance in front, but Johnson knew where the puck was going to go.
Panarin trying to work it toward the net. Gudlevsky's covers that puck with 1:39 to go.
Well, as much time as they've had to spend in their end, and Gudlevsky's has certainly made some very good saves in this game and in this second period. There have been some good, solid defensive plays in front, like the Johnson play, like the Nesterov play. It's about preventing those grade A chances from that 20 or 25 feet right out in front of the slot area. If you look at numbers for Kristers Gudlevsky.
Working with Nesterov as Anisimov wins the faceoff. The Hawks keep it in the Lightning zone. The shot's 9-4 Chicago here in this second period. Killorn off the boards and out. Right in stride to Filppula. He hits the line with Stamkos. Garrison back behind for Filppula. And the Hawks get it away. Long pass. Kane's onside. He's in alone. Save Gudlevsky's. And he turned away the rebound. What a sequence there. Things opened up all of a sudden, and Kane, they freed him up. But the Latvian netminder right there to make the stop. Now here comes Killorn with Filppula. And the pass blocked by Chalmerson here in the final minute. Patrick Kane to center, lost to Stralman. Victor Hedman ahead for Alex Killorn, and he just missed sending in Stamkos. Desjardins has some room, and we get a whistle, and a pick is going to be called here for interference as Hedman felled by Shaw at the line, and Victor getting up rather slowly, and it will be Shaw going off here at 19:21.
2 minutes interference.
Let's take a look at the penalty first. Hedman moving along the line. Has to be able to make his play. Shaw was trying to stay onside, but that's definitely interference. A terrific pass from Brent Seabrook all the way from his end zone up to the far blue line. Garrison didn't realize that Kane was in behind him until it was too late. And you don't want to give too many chances to Kane. Terrific save there by Gudlevsky.
The Lightning with their fourth power play. Chicago had the first opportunity of the game. That's been it. And the Lightning hoping to cash, get the first goal of this game, but they don't have much time here in the second period. 22 seconds remaining. Johnson leaves that puck, and Kucherov finds a way to chip it in. However, they can't get control, and Desjardins will chip it back down. Well, Kristers Gudlevsky's the 5th round pick from 2013. 23 years old, and he making his first appearance of this season in the NHL, has been starring for the Lightning with the helps of people like Anton Strawman, and he'll be talking with Paul and Chief at the upcoming Gulf Coast Honda Dealers second intermission. We'll also visit the Build the Thunder School of the Day. Highlights and stats coming your way in a scoreless tie through 40 minutes. The shots, Chicago 19, the Lightning 13 through 2 periods. Tampa Bay Lightning hockey and Fox Sports Sun has been brought to you by Gulf Coast Honda. Visit your Gulf Coast Honda dealers for great deals on new Hondas. Go to gchondadealers.com. By the Belts and Roof Law Team at getjustice.com. Over 30 years helping the injured, non-attorney spokesperson. And by your Tampa Bay area BMW Centers. Welcome back to Chicago as we're getting set for the start of the third period. Rick Peckham, Brian Inglom with you. 1:22 remaining on an interference penalty to Andrew Shaw. Lightning on their 4th power play, and we're looking for our first goal of the game. Victor Hedman winding it up. Moving it now to Callahan. Back to Hedman. Steven Stamkos. Over for Valtteri Filppula. Drouin positioned down near the net along with Callahan, who's screening Crawford. Hedman looks, fires, and it's off a stick and wide. Drouin fires it back out to Filppula. Filppula closing in. Drouin back up top to Hedman, around Stamkos, firing, and it's off the side of the goal. Trying to score from that sharp angle he scored from against the Nashville Predators to start this trip.
Tough to get that puck into the scoring area and get a shot all the way through. And then Stamkos will just hang out there as long as he can until he hopes that Chicago forgets about him for a second until they get one look at the net.
Strowman. Now to Nesterov shooting, and it's deflected wide. Out in front, the shot by Johnson hit the post. It's covered by Crawford. Tyler Johnson, another grade A chance, and he's talking to himself after that one.
That face just says it all. Can you believe that that one didn't go in again? He wants to know how it didn't go in. The one-touch pass from the corner from Palat right onto his tape is outstanding. Really good puck movement. The puck will go behind the net. Johnson in the right position again. He lets it go right away. The goaltender Crawford is beaten, but it hits the post and stays out.
Paquette hit that post early in the hockey game, banking it off Crawford. Hedman hit the other post. Now Johnson hits that post on the near side again. The penalty to Shaw has expired. Chicago survives. We're still scoreless. Kucherov trying to duck under a check. Playing it back to Strowman, closing it, feeding it side of the goal, and he hit Johnson in the ankle with a pass. Tikhonov has it. Taves reaching back for it. And Taves gets it from Hossa. Tikhonov going to the net, and Gudlevsky's with a blocker save. On the boards now, it's Tikhonov dropping it back to the point. Svedberg's shot is blocked out in front. Taves coming up with it. Dribbles behind the net. He'll circle with it. Taves centers, and Strowman right there to steal. Plot ahead for Kucherov, and Svedberg cut him off. Both teams make some quick changes. Vlad Namestnikov. Goals in 3 of his last 4 games now. Carl starting it ahead for Cedric Paquette. Vlad protects that blue line. Challenged though by Condra. He tries to circle around him. Playing it back out to Carl with the shot. Drifting it wide. Garrison in behind to Condra. Try to get it out in front. Nobody home. Kane. Puck deflects out of Panarin's reach. The Lightning quickly the other way. Rundblad now with Paquette running into Daly. Rundblad ends up with a puck. Out for Kane. Kane stick handling in against Matt Carl. Picks up Van Riemsdyk. Shooting. Saved by Gudlevskis. He hangs on to it. Wasn't sure at first where it was with Anisimov on the scene.
Hyundai is a proud partner of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Let's have a look at tonight's Diamond Performance brought to you by Ackerman Jewelers.
Christian Gudlevski has been terrific in this game. He's been perfect so far. Watch the conservation of motion, and he doesn't make the first move. The epitome of it was that flat-out breakaway that Kane had in that second period. He closed the 5-hole very quickly and still got the rebound chance as well. Really tracking the puck well.
Irvine shooting. It's deflected and a pad save by Gudlevskis as Garbutt was stirring it up in front. I think he got a piece of that shot. What an active game he's had. Pass back for Teravainen. Ducks inside on Filppula. He caught up to him. Spun him around, and a penalty upcoming. Garbutt running into Filppula as the whistle blows, and a penalty from Brad Meyer will be assessed here at 3:33.
Tampa Bay penalty number 51, minor penalty, hooking.
The Lightning have been very disciplined over the last couple of games. This one on the back check, that's Filppula, boy. I mean, right there, that's where he gets in on the hands. Whenever you get a guy's hands and tweak them up like that, you're going to get that call.
Hawks' second power play. Taves down low. Steps away from the net. He's got Shaw in front. There's a shot and a save by Gudlevskis. Panarin getting it back out to Seabrook. Callahan out on him. Panarin with a shot, and it's blocked and cleared away by Cedric Paquette. He's stung a bit by that shot block, but still got the job done.
He did. He blocked the shot, and he made sure he cleared the puck.
Taves dropping it. Panarin behind the net. Carl takes it. Plenty of time to skim it back toward Corey Crawford. Seabrook hurried a bit on the play as Andre Palat takes a turn with Tyler Johnson on this penalty killing unit. 1:12 to go on the Filppula call. Patrick Kane dances in. Back to Daly. Kane in the one-touch. Taves with it. Shaw still parked near the net. Good play by Coburn. Boy, the Lightning have defended well tonight, Brian.
They have. They're holding their positions in the right areas of the ice. It's a combination of playing zone and then man-on-man. When a guy comes into your area, you better be tough on the puck.
Play offside with 46 seconds to go in the Hawks power play.
Well, the key for when you play against Joe Quenneville's guys, especially when they're on the power play, is you try and keep their master skilled guys like Kane and Taves away from the puck as much as possible. Now, that's a really hard thing to do because that's exactly who Chicago is trying to give it to. So you defend in the middle of the ice, and then when those guys come close, you have to close on them as quickly as possible, and everybody away from the puck, as I said before, particularly with Kane, you have to look at the ice and see what he is seeing. Don't be mesmerized by what he's doing to you with the puck, because he's going to make a pass that'll dissect you completely.
Teravainen cuts across the middle. Leaving it now for Rundblad. Sets up but doesn't have a shooting angle with Paquette on him. Down low they work into Hossa. Here's Rundblad shooting and a save by Gudlevskis, reaching out with that right arm. Artem Anisimov back up top. Around to Hossa. Kane, stick handling, sliding it toward the net, covered by Gudlevskis with 2 seconds to go on the penalty.
Drayton Coburn did a really good job of reading that play there. Hossa wanted to do a little give and go coming out of the corner and let Taves walk out. Well, Coburn got inside position on Hossa and wasn't going to allow for any rebounds or deflections or cause any trouble in there. Marian Hossa is a very experienced guy, and Gudlevskis just took care of the rest. He made a save and then just stopped the play.
Teravainen with that last chance is from the faceoff. It comes back to the corner. Filppula steps out of the penalty box. Lightning keep it scoreless with that penalty kill. Hedman challenged in there by Taves. Hedman chipping it ahead for Stamkos. Schuster sends it by Filppula and in deep in the zone. Stamkos working with Filppula and Killorn. And the play broken up on the long pass, trying to spring Panarin. And play whistle down.
Well, we've seen some good scoring chances, certainly from both teams, and some of the best guys in the league, most talented players. For Tyler Johnson, of course, he's the one that's come away empty, and so is Kane.
Tampa Bay Lightning hockey on Fox Sports Sun is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers. Stamkos leans in, Teravainen wins it back to Svedberg, shooting a save by Gudlevskis. He kicked that out.
He was down, Rick, looking at that one. I'm not sure he even really saw that. I think it was just good position, and it hit him. But that's a big part of goaltending, is getting in the right spot for the shot.
Garbutt gets it out. What's interesting about Gudlevskis being called up is that everyone assumed when Andrei Vasilevsky underwent the operation, had the problem with the blood clots, that Gudlevskis would be the guy to step into the breach.
Exactly. He did not have a very good training camp, and I think it had a lot to do with that. They put him in the American League and got him some work, and then got him into some games, and he played so well that here he is.
And he makes the save again, and a rebound try on Kruger. 2 stops by Gudlevskis, and the Hawks holding it in. Garrison has to head back to the corner and win that puck. He's challenged by Kruger. And now Desjardins on the scene, and Palat just moved him right out of there. Kucherov on the move, cuts to the middle. His shot was disrupted by Chalmerson. Broken stick over there causing a problem. Shaw with a hit. Palat keeping the play moving. And it's played back, a hand pass called against the Lightning with 12:41 to go in this third period. Kristers Gudlevskis has been starring for the Lightning.
He made the save on. You get a really good look at the deflection of it. The shot from the point is going to get deflected off a foot right there. See, that's where he saw it, and then he didn't see it. But his positioning is so darn good that his legs are down. There's the change of direction, and he tracks it as best he can. I mean, that was a hard shot. It changed direction by a couple of feet. He's down in good early position, and he makes that leg save. That's outstanding.
Now the Lightning have been outshot 8-2 here in the third, 18-6 since the first period.
Yeah, the puck possession game that the Lightning would like to have certainly has not been there. Now, naturally, their legs aren't nearly as fresh as Chicago's, playing back-to-back games for the Lightning, and Chicago had the day off. But if they can get a forecheck going here and get a couple of chances, it only looks like going to be one of those one-goal games.
Dribbling puck, Teravainen gets it out. Nikita Nesterov back. Picked up by Daley. And it deflects through to Teravainen. Hinostroza on his backhand. Turns back, finds the point man. Rundblad shooting save. Gudlevskis, plenty of traffic there with Garbutt right in front. No rebound.
Boy, Garbutt's been really good for Chicago. He has been in front of the net. He's had about 7 shots on net. I think it was his foot that we just showed you on that deflected shot that Gudlevski made the save on. But again, look in front of the net there. There's no rebound by Gudlevski, and that's a big part of it. But Paquette working hard in front of the net there, too. He wasn't going to give Garbutt any second chance on it if it did come out.
Just to finish the Gudlevski story, because of the so-so camp, the Lightning we're looking for somebody with some experience to back up Bishop in the interim, as here come the Lightning on the rush. It's Hedman shooting, and it's deflected over the net. And, of course, Kevin Poulin was plucked off waivers by from the Islanders, I should say. A veteran of 50 NHL games. was put on waivers during the late portion of training camp by the Islanders, and the Lightning have had him backing up Ben Bishop through the first 8 games.
Yeah, it wasn't anything that was said by the coaching staff or the management, but you didn't get a good feeling from who was going to be a backup for Ben Bishop, for sure. I think I felt that way for sure, like, some not so very good training camps, and of course Vasilevsky being out with the injury, and then all of a sudden the trade for Poulin happens, and Gudlevsky is now, chosen the situation to say, get his game together, played 2 outstanding games in the American League, and now here he is. So he worked his way back in.
And Vasilevsky, of course, has been cleared for full team activities starting on Monday as the Lightning from here travel on to St. Louis, and who knows, we'll see how long it takes him to get into game shape for the Lightning. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light.
Consecutive 20-goal seasons. Look at the list of who's who in that list, and 3 of them right here in this game. Taves, Kane, and Steven Stamkos.
And we saw another one earlier in the trip, James Neal, who had a 2-goal performance for Nashville. The Predators winning in the shootout over the Lightning to start the trip. The Lightning since defeating Winnipeg in 3-on-3 overtime last night. And they're right here with the Blackhawks. 10.5 to go in the 3rd period, and no score in this hockey game. Eric Condren hammered there by Shaw from behind. Puck deflected just out of the reach of Paquette. Condren getting to it. And the play offside. And Condren something to say to Shaw after that collision from behind.
Yeah, Condren didn't like that one. That shook him up a little bit. And Shaw is one of those guys who gets in on the forecheck. He gets under your skin. He disturbs things. He doesn't mind if you don't like him. Matter of fact, he kind of likes it more if you don't. He does make contact from behind. A glancing blow. I think Condren was looking for a penalty there, but it probably came enough from an angle that it wasn't a dangerous hit that there was any penalty there. But Shaw takes great glee in getting under people's skin, and he's darn good at it.
And it was Shaw from behind that fouled Victor Hedman on that pick of the blue line late in the 2nd period. Taves and Johnson on this faceoff. Seabrook fires it off the foot of Jonathan Drouin. However, it's plated by Tikhonov. He is upended by Ryan Callahan with that hit at center. Drouin sailing one out for Callahan right to him, and he played it in toward Crawford. Johnson with it, going to feed it to a breaking Drouin. Nesterov around to Drouin. Buys an open man on the point. It's Coburn shooting. It's off an ankle. Comes to Nesterov. He's in deep. Couldn't center against Vedberg with that big reach of his. Hossa knocked it free. Race on for that loose puck. Drouin controlling it. Back to Callahan. Waiting for the troops to arrive. Johnson trying to get there. Hossa in good position. Broke it up. Seabrook to center. He'll bounce it in toward Gudlevsky's.
I've noticed in the offensive surges that Tampa's had early in this season, when a defenseman gets involved like we just saw with Nesterov, how often it is that Jonathan Drouin is the guy back covering up. Really good responsibility defensively.
Puck played ahead to Stamkos, and the one-touch now Filppula taking it. Circling back, Lightning trying to complete a change. Getting Hedman on the ice with Anton Stralman. And Garvin coming up the works at center. Hinostroza around the corner, trying to center. Diving play broke that up. And Stralman slow to get to his skates back behind the net. The puck deflected. Comes back to Van Riemsdyk. Stamkos going to stick in there. And we get a whistle with 8:47 to go. Here in this 3rd period, looking for our first goal of this hockey game here in Chicago.
Stralman and Hedman doing a terrific job on that last shift, doing whatever it takes defensively in order to stop the play. Hinostroza going wide, but Stralman, watch his stick. His stick's always in there. Hedman sliding across to take away any thought of a pass into the middle of the ice. When you got a guy 6'7" coming across, he's taking up a lot of room, and then Stralman ends up going into the end wall, was a little shaken up. Hedman gets back into position. These two guys really have terrific chemistry between the two of them, Stralman and Hedman.
Well, they sort out assignments as Anisimov centering for Panarin and Kane. The line has accounted for 10 of their 17 goals this year. Anisimov, big body at 6'4" and about 200 pounds. He's taken down there by Stamkos for the point. Van Riemsdyk doesn't have an angle, now fires, and it's deflected away as Palat has it. Sends it out ahead for Filppula. Cuts to the middle. 3 Hawks back. Joined now by Andre Palat. Around to Stamkos. Stamkos fires, and he sends it wide. Tapped away by Panarin. Here's Kane. He's onside, gets to it. And Strawman reaches in on him.
Kane just read that shot going off the end wall, off the sideboards. He knew where it was going to go, and he was on the fly out of the zone before anybody noticed him.
Palat centers, and Stamkos covered. Carr with a shot. That's blocked, but Schuster is back. Deflected in by Filppula. Victor Svedberg paired with Brent Seabrook. Now for Hossa. He'll ease it in. Carl's got Taves bearing down on him. The puck coming around to Svedberg. In behind to Taves. Working it in front. Tapping to Seabrook. Winding and shooting. Blocked by Killorn. Hossa recovers. Now to Seabrook, but out of the zone. Look out, here comes Killorn. Hossa getting it back to Seabrook. Taves will golf it in. Hossa battling Killorn down those boards. A penalty upcoming here, and it's going to go to Alex Killorn for interference. He's not happy at all with the penalty at 12:51.
Tapper penalty number 17, minor penalty interference.
I've never seen a guy happy with a penalty and just the dreams of being unhappy. Alex Killorn is definitely unhappy about that. We've seen a couple of interference calls. The Hawks were guilty of a couple earlier in the game, and things starting to even out here in the penalty department as the game winds down here, and it's still 0-0. Big penalty kill here.
On the face-off, the puck coming to the point, and Panarin holding it in for Chicago. They move it now to Teravainen. His pass blocked by Paquette. He'll get it out off Seabrook. He scrambles because he sensed Callahan was approaching. And Paquette works it free. The Lightning will get control.
One of the reasons I really think that the penalty kill got better and better was Cedric Paquette getting back into the lineup. His reads, his ability to turn over plays just like he has here has been outstanding.
Teravainen dropping it back now for Artemi Panarin. Steps off those boards, looking to create. Seabrook. Now across for Kane. Back to Seabrook. Paquette out on him. Here's Panarin. Easing it in front. Deflected by Hedman. Kept over the net by Gudlevskis as he fended it off. Boy, that was a tricky play as Condra gets it free. Charges to center. Tried to dump it in and get to the bench on a change. However, he fanned on it. Now Anisimov. Here comes Kane, and he bobbled it off his stick. Kane circling, winding. He'll just blister one on goal. A save by Gudlevskis. Rundblad sending it across. Here's a shot by Daly, blocked by Coburn. Anisimov has it. That is pocket picked by Garrison. He'll dribble it back to center with 30 seconds on the penalty.
A couple of big blasts from angles, one by Kane and one from the other side of the ice as well, not getting through. That was a big block by Coburn.
Taves playing it back to Trevor Daly. Back to Taves. Puck freed up for Johnson. He doesn't waste any time at backhanding it out here in the closing 10 seconds of the Alex Killorn penalty. Daly challenged in there by Palat. Shows he's got a free hand and not holding Daly. However, the Hawks escape out of the box. Killorn. Hossa hits the line, leaving it for Taves. Hossa met there by Carl. Dove to free up the puck, but it bounced to Chalmers shooting, tipped wide. Johnson, hounded by Shaw, gets away with a burst. Killorn with him. Here's a try, kicked away by Crawford, and right out to Jonathan Taves. He threw it in the legs of the linesman and ends up on the bench, and 4:44 to go. Third period. Kristus Gudlevskis continues to hold off the Hawks. tonight's Morgan Auto Group play of the game.
And it involves Christos Gudlevskis. It's the breakaway by Patrick Kane. Kane at high speed tries to go 5-hole and then even gets the rebound out of the air. Gudlevski gets them both. Outstanding reaction. Watch this. How quickly he tightens up the 5-hole. Doesn't give up or admire his first save. Is batting the puck away even though Kane gets a little stick on it there. Gudlevski bats it away. He has been under control, that conservation of motion, waiting for the shooter to make the first move, not showing him much to look at. He has been perfect.
Lightning win the draw. Here's Hedman. Lets the shot go. A save by Crawford. Big rebound. Shaw got rid of it, but not out. Lightning to that one had been outshot 21-7 since the first period, but that shot reaching the net. Stroman. Down the boards to Filppula. Good play to Killorn. Trying to slide it through Crawford. It was blocked in front. Van Riemsdyk went down. The Hawks chip it out.
Boy, nice little give and go in tight quarters there. Not much for Killorn to do. He didn't have much room. Tried to throw it out in front of the net. Pretty good defensive play by the Hawks.
Hedman charging ahead. Killorn settles it down. The shot is blocked. Dribbled wide. Seabrook got rid of it. Bouncing pucks all over the place here in this third period. Killorn fires in front off the side of the goal. It comes all the way back to Gudlevskis. And Taves keeps an eye on him. He'll follow him all the way behind the net. Puck contained by Palat, recovered by Hossa. Hjalmarsson chipping it out to center. Dribble to Matt Carl. And his attempt to clear hit Tikhonov. Palat, his pass hit Johnson and bounced back to the Hawks line. Hjalmarsson having trouble controlling that puck. Andre Palat gaining the red line and chipping it in. Hjalmarsson challenged. Kucherov reaching out with the extra effort. However, Van Riemsdyk sends it ahead. Tried to spring Panarin and just about did so.
That long pass, whether it's a direct pass or off the wall, Chicago's always been good at that because they usually have somebody on the fly going there. That was Panarin that time instead of Kane.
Gudlevskis handles that puck right in front of his net, lobs it coolly to Namestnikov, and the Lightning maneuver it ahead to Kadri. Kadri waiting, feeding it through as he had two men going to the net. The puck rims off the glass and the ledge of the boards. It's chopped to the point. Namestnikov there, bouncing it in front of save by Crawford. Here's Kadri trying to get it in front. He's stopped by Crawford.
Cedric Paquette with a terrific effort in front too, but he was boxed out and basically laid down upon there. I think it was Seabrook who took him out of the play. But getting pucks to the net here, not many shots in this period for the Tampa Bay Lightning, but right there he is completely boxed out by Svedberg, who did that. And then with the loose puck from the bad angle, Crawford comes up with the big save.
Now Crawford hasn't always gotten the credit he's deserved for his role in winning a couple of Stanley Cups. Coming up with a save there. And one of the reasons he doesn't get a lot of credit sometimes is he doesn't face a lot of shots.
Yeah, that's true. One of the more maligned Stanley Cup winning goalers.
Garvin trying to get it up the boards, could not. Lightning keeping it down low. Drouin handing it off to Callahan. Back to Drouin. Back to Ryan Callahan. Barging in there, though. The Hawks break that play up. As Marcus Kruger on the play. Here comes Garvin. Teravainen had to reach back in the play offside.
Holding line there was important for John Cooper's guys. It wasn't a very good pass from Garvin. They had an outnumbered attack for a moment there, but misplayed it at the blue line and ended up on the offside.
Ryan Garvin, hard-nosed winger. 8 goals last year at Dallas and almost 20 the year before.
Part of that Sharp trade. Dallas.
Hedman moving it along to Stamkos. Now Svedberg back on. Seabrook lobs it. Hedman right there, and he played it off Killorn, who was trying to get out of the zone, and the play offside.
A lot of respect between these two teams. Victor Hedman gets an awful lot of respect because they know, that the Hawks do, that Hedman wants to get up on the play and be that difference maker. He's really smart about when he does it. It's all about timing. You can't force it all the time and try to join the rush and end up getting caught and giving up a big-time goal against you. Hedman's very bright about when he gets involved.
We saw it, 4 assists in the final as the Lightning penetrate. Here's a shot by Killorn, a save by Crawford. Killorn spilled by Seabrook. And it's worked free to Svedberg. Another tight hockey game with these teams. First 5 games of the finals, all 1-goal decisions, and Game 6 virtually was with an empty net goal. So you expect these teams to play it tight, whether regular season or the Stanley Cup Finals. Most of the time they do. Here's Strawman shooting, and it's tipped out of play by Seabrook.
Anton Strawman is sometimes the guy, because we do talk about Hedman all the time, he's sometimes the guy that makes the difference offensively. He jumped up on the play there, had a little bit of room. He knows how to make a play, certainly, and in this situation, if you get that extra room, whether you're a forward or a defenseman, keep the puck on your stick as long as you can and get it to the net. That one was deflected, but Strawman capable of being that guy, too.
Kane getting the insurance goal in game number 6. But 1 goal right to the end until the Hawks build a bigger margin and went on to clinch the cup. They're going to drop this puck for another face-off with Johnson and Taves. Brent Knorr, the linesman, involved. Taves has got his advice. He's got to get his stick down first, the defensive center. And in that circle, it's worked free, and Van Riemsdyk with it. Back to Chalmerson. Teravainen getting it out. Here's Taves. Going to lose Palat.
1 minute remaining in regulation.
1 minute to go in the third period. Teravainen turns. He shoots, and he sends it wide of the goal. It comes back out to Van Riemsdyk. Sends it across. Teravainen broke his stick in half, anxious to fire that one-timer. Kucherov, no look, across to Johnson. Down the boards he goes. Bumps there with Van Riemsdyk. Chalmerson challenged in there. Kucherov snuck in. Kept the play alive for the Lightning. Kucherov. Back for Tyler Johnson. It swept off his stick. Taves couldn't get it out. Palat holding it in. Double team. Hawks get it free. Trying to send Hossa down the middle. Strawman recovers. 22 seconds to go in the third. Carl playing it back to Strawman. And it's lobbed out of play, indicated right off the bat by Michel Cormier, the linesman. It was deflected out, so no penalty, 13.4 to play.
The last save that Gudlevsky's made looked like he was in a little bit of difficulty. It looks like he's okay now. He's getting a bit of a drink of water, but he goes down on sort of an awkward ankle, and that left leg kind of, went out a little farther than I think he intended to. You could see he uses the back of the net. Looked like he caught his left heel. He recovers himself there. It took him a moment. Looks okay and ready to go to finish this one out, though.
Well, there's a lot of hockey to be played when you think about the coming 3-on-3 overtime, unless Kane could do something here late, and it's tipped away and out of play. So overtime coming up. Gudlevsky's will ready himself, so will Corey Crawford, and our Chevy overtime period is coming up next here from the United Center. Welcome back to Chevy overtime. A scoreless tie through 60 minutes. And an anxious moment for the Lightning with Kristers Gudlevskis there. An awkward turn toward a shot in the final seconds of regulation, and looks like he's okay.
Yeah, a hard-earned point. Really hard-earned point in this building, and that guy deserves most of the credit. There's another look at it again. That's what we were just looking at and watching. He's got some difficulty as he gets back in there, and you can see he's favoring it a little bit, but boy, he shook it off very quickly. He has been outstanding in this game, nothing short of it. 30 saves on the game, and as the Lightning were outshot 30-21, and long stretches there where he was under the gun pretty good. But you know, the back-to-back games, these goaltenders, the backup goaltenders, get put in thankless positions an awful lot of the time, just because you have to rest your big guys sometimes. And Ben Bishop was well deserving of a rest, certainly, after going 8 straight games. So, and the team gutting it out here on this second of back-to-back, Winnipeg and then Chicago. To be honest with you here, Rick, 3-on-3 in this overtime. I can't wait to watch it. I'm not sure these two coaches are too thrilled about it because they like good defense, but we should see some terrific action here.
We sure should. The shots ended up 11-8 Chicago as the Lightning offense came to life late in that third period. Lightning winning in 36 seconds in overtime last night, so it wasn't like it was a drawn-out affair where your top players are really tired from it. As Brian mentioned, the ice time managed pretty well by John Cooper, Rick Bowness and company. Well, we'll see what happens here at 3-on-3. As Taves circling back with it, he and Kane and Seabrook. Open this overtime with the Lightning. Strawman, Philpott cutting through. It's Taves. He's stopped. They score! Gudlevsky stopped the first shot, but Taves got to the rebound and jams it in. And the Hawks win in overtime 1-0.
This is really a second and third effort by Jonathan Taves because Filppula does a real good job to lift his stick, but Taves stays with it. And then when he gets it to the net, Gudlevsky makes the easy first save, but then the 5-hole is open and Taves will reach back right there and knock it in 5-hole. That is a pretty terrific effort by Taves.
He scores 17 seconds into the overtime. 1-0 final. That's our Chevy Overtime. We'll be back with more from Chicago in just a moment.